Thank you, everyone. Good evening. I'm so happy to be here. I don't have much time, so I'm not going to use it bragging anymore about the empowerment experiment. You saw the video. You know what we did. You know about us. We're an overly credentialed, professional, suburban family. I'm not even sure if I need this mic. So let's just hold that for a second. That we have 2 kids and we decided to take a public stand in your honor and completely live off black business for an entire year. You know that we did this to study and prove empirically the importance and the need for self-help economics. You know our journey dominated headlines. You know that our stand and the media coverage it sparked has sparked a little movement in our community. And you may have heard about the hate mail and the threats. You know that they've started whole organizations and websites trying to shut us down. You know about my family's sacrifice as I fed my husband and my children SpaghettiOs and frozen burritos out of gas stations because that one black-owned grocery store that we had shut down in the middle of the empowerment experiment. Bearing out the cycle, 1 year, black businesses live in America. You heard about my spoiled, sweet little girls going without shoes, toys, clothes, food. But what you don't know is what motivated us to conduct the empowerment experiment and why we decided to invite this cruel world into our perfect little life. We were sick of how everyone, and I mean everyone, black, white, the media, the celebrities, the government, everyone always talks about the black problems, but no one talks about the solutions to those problems or the real reasons those problems exist. A recent study showed that in the Asian community, their dollar is circulated among the shopkeepers and brokers and business professionals up to 28 days before it goes outside of their community. In the WASP community, that number is 10 days, and in the Jewish community, it's 19 days. In the black community, it's 6 hours. We wanted the media and the politicians to start talking about that number and start talking about why that's happening. But instead, they only report on all those dismal statistics about how many people are getting shot in Chicago and how many black kids are dropping out of school and going to jail. They love talking about those numbers. For so long, we've all of us, been minimizing and burying the true source of our crisis, and that's that no one's supporting black businesses, not even black people, and that other groups have exploited this phenomenon, usurping our wealth, taking over our markets and industries, and that now black people are forced to, and some are content to, leave their community and shop downtown or in the affluent white suburbs. That some of us even wear this as a badge of honor and success. That's it. Those are the reasons we live at the bottom. Those are the reasons our youth are left without local role models, why our mothers and brothers and sisters and aunties and uncles can't find jobs, why our schools and community programs are underfunded, and the businesses and the economic centers in our communities are not vibrant and aren't beautiful. It's the system, and it works, and there's nothing illegal about it. It's not racist. It may hurt like racism. I'm sure a lot of racists like the way it's playing out. But it's no one's fault but our own. And what's worse is that we don't even care about it anymore. We thought in the empowerment experiment that we could proclaim in the media with pride and intelligence that our communities need and deserve our money. Our businesses need our money to employ people, invest in our neighborhoods, serve as role models for our children. Our communities need more local business owners so that we can showcase our leadership and our ingenuity. Until our entrepreneurs and our businesses play a better role in this economy, we're never going to get the respect we deserve. We're never going to be valued for our contributions to this country. And the American dream will always be some elusive, distant fantasy, stopping short or just hovering over Detroit and Gary and Philadelphia and the west side of Chicago and Oakland. The American dream is supposed to exist there too. Without strong businesses and strong business owners, the community dies. We knew that. All of you know that. And all of our credentials meant nothing if we knew that and did nothing about it. So we did do something. We did take a stand, and we did it for all the world to see. And we did it because we refused to let boarded up homes and barred up businesses become the new hallmark of the black community. That's not going to be the legacy after all these people fought for us to get to where we are. We created and conducted the empowerment experiment believing, because of you, that it does not have to be that way. We did it. Everything we did, I promise you, everything that we went through, we did it to get here. We did it for this tonight. So tonight is going to be different. Tonight is not about the Andersons, not about the babies going without, not about the experiment or not having any toys or food or CBS News or threats. That was just the beginning of the journey that led me here. Y'all didn't know me from a bowl of soup last year. And now I'm all over the country rallying quality business owners and concerned consumers just like you. And the good news is they're ready, just like we were, and they're not going to take it anymore. So I'm not going to use these minutes talking any more about the empowerment experiment. I want to talk about all of us. I want to talk about how we can proclaim boldly and beautifully with smarts and sophistication that everything we need to be successful and prosperous is within our reach and already embedded in our souls. The empowerment experiment says, let's stop focusing on how bad things seem and how dismal the prospects may look. Instead, let's start focusing on what we do have and what we can do. My family spent or otherwise invested $94,000 in the black community in that year that we would not have done otherwise. Now, I know we didn't change the world because we did that. But let me tell you something. Every time I get sad about how things are, and every time they try to crush me with all those statistics, I go out and find another quality black business to support. Or I get involved with an awesome organization like the African American Chamber. That's how I live my life. That's why I'm not sad anymore. I don't waste time complaining about how few businesses still exist in the black community. I know that. And I definitely don't go around complaining about my businesses being dirty or offering poor services or the prices being too high. Some of them are. Some of them are like that, just like in every other community. But I don't use that as an excuse to rest on my laurels or abandon the great ones that still exist. Those are the dynamics that are the very fuel to keep me going. They are the reasons that I keep supporting great businesses like Omega Optical and McCoy's Auto Service right here in Philly, or find a black hotel with some black find a hotel with some black equity in it. Maybe you're not going to find a black-owned hotel, but maybe find one with a black investor, like the one we're in tonight. That's how I live my life. What about them? These are the businesses that inspire me, and it's my duty, my privilege to support them. Look, in reverse 90, there's not a million businesses, but you can find the dry cleaners, you can find art, you can find health and wellness services, insurance, you can get your car fixed, eat nice, find a lawyer, an accountant, a marketing professional, all kinds of business services and entertainment options, spas and barber shops. So what's stopping us? Why do we have to let this 10% statistic keep hovering over us? What are we even worried about unless it's that we know that we're not ready to make those small sacrifices in our life to make sure that our community is empowered? We built nations and empires and schools and democracies. We've invented industries and revolutionary products. We're the originators of the most fascinating culture in the world. We endured and conquered slavery, rape, genocide. And you mean to tell me, we put a black man in the White House. We know what we can do. Let's stop talking about what we can do because it takes too doggone long. I've done enough bragging about what I did, what we can do, what we've done in the past. Now I want to ask you, what are you going to do? I want to know where you're going to eat tomorrow. Are you going to go to Reef Caribbean or Reverse 90 Business? Are you going to check out Miss Tootsie's or Zana's Cakes? Will you make sure that you're using black professionals for all of your business and household needs? I do. Is there any reason that you won't make Eatable Delights your next caterer? What will it take? Will you choose Replica Design or our black-owned Minuteman Press for your design and printing needs? Or call on Anita Cooper, CPA? Just because they are there, they're qualified and worthy of support, just because you're supposed to, just because it will help more children have a local business role model to look to, just because it will help us recycle our wealth, those brands and designers that you support every day, will you make some calls and do some research and realize and see that maybe they've never done anything that benefits your people? Do they have any black officers or franchisees or black suppliers? Do they support the African American Chamber? Posh Boutique does. So why don't you think about that the next time you're ready to buy some clothes? Are you going to come here, meet them, see them, like them, be nice to them, and then go home and never support them? That's not going to happen. Not tonight. Not on my watch. Tonight, we pledge that we're not going to live like that anymore. So as we launch Reverse 90 in Philadelphia, the city of such history and culture and achievement, I'm going to ask you, what are they going to say about us? What are they going to say about Reverse 90? Will they say that we continued where Dr. King left off? Because you know, the day before he was shot, he was telling Memphis consumers to support the black insurance companies in that area, just like our very own Willie Manley's insurance agency. Will they say that we picked up where Dr. King left off? Where are you going to get your insurance? Will they say that we maximized all the brilliance and creativity and determination in this room to make life better for our people, make society better for everyone, and make things right, finally, for our businesses? We have always done that. We did it before. It's in our culture and it's who we are. Let's make them say, then, that we came together tonight, people of all kinds, rich and poor, suburban, urban, degreed and not, black and not, and made smart decisions and deals, challenged and changed the systems that exploit, insult, neglect, and invalidate our strengths, our rights, our dreams, and potential. Let's make them say that we designed and supported this grand idea, Reverse 90, and we countered unemployment, grew businesses, recycled our wealth, and improved our collective quality of life. Will we give them the chance to say we did some of that, and we did it only to empower those whose power had slipped or been stolen away? Will they say that this was just another professional pretty people party, a business card exchanging bonanza, a preach and present fest where nothing substantive resulted? Is that really why we're here? Did we get dressed, travel near and far, get some nice food and drink, and then go home no more enlightened or empowered than when we came? Or will they say that every minute, every conversation, every move, every hug, every handshake was made with Booker T in mind, Dr. King in mind, with all those kids out there who have gone their whole young lives and never encountered a black business owner in mind, with the sincere belief that this area should and therefore can be different when it comes to our businesses and neighborhoods. That's what we need to think about and drink to tonight. That's my kind of party. And that's why I came here. So I want to know, what are you going to do? Because ain't nobody answered me yet. Because if you're not ready, I just need to go back home.
I'm ready.
I should go back to that normal life where I used to drive around and over the black businesses and black neighborhoods, ignoring the plight of my people, the rights of my people, and the power of my people, just so that I can brag that I wear Gucci and Versace and do all my shopping downtown. I don't want to live like that anymore. But if you all aren't ready to make some changes and use some common sense, then maybe I should. If you're not ready for what Reverse 90 has to offer and is laying right in front of your face, then maybe I should. I've given up much more than you realize in the empowerment experiment. Some of you, like Norm Bond, president of the National Alliance of Market Developers, my friend, and executive advisor to the empowerment experiment. Norm Bond knows that I lost my mother, my everything, the true mother of the empowerment experiment during our experiment. My mother was beautiful. She's been on the screen all night, by the way. That lovely lady you saw up there. Beautiful, vibrant, strong. She never drank, never smoked, walked everywhere, would cut her own grass with one of those old school yank and crank lawnmowers at 77 years old. My mother was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2008. We did the empowerment experiment in 2009, so think about that. All the research, all the planning, all the calls, all the trips, all the interviews, conducting the experiment, building the team and raising the money. Through all of that, my mother was dying, painfully and slowly. My mother never graduated high school. She was just a Cuban farm girl, barely knew English. Been here over 40 years. She came over in 1968 and never learned how to drive. And she was still the most brilliant, gifted woman I'll ever know. Because as high yellow as she could be, she taught me that despite what everyone else said, I was just as black, even though we came from Cuba, as everyone else, just as much as my sisters in Jackson, Mississippi, or D.C. She taught me that. She taught me that Cubans were slaves too, and to never forget that I'm part of the diaspora. And now that my Mima is not with me anymore, I've been spending my days and nights wondering, was it all worth it, the empowerment experiment? I want to know, was it worth it? Those oh so precious minutes, hours, and days that I could have been with her, or helping my dad take care of her and clean her and wipe her face as she vomited herself to sleep. All that I could have been doing for her. I want to know, was it worth it? To not be with her. Did I waste that year, her last year, taking a stand for a concept, defending a concept that could never change? That my people are never going to stand up with me and do the little things that they need to do to make life better for us. I want to know, was it worth it? So now that she's gone, I ask God those questions. I ask him every day. And he answers me. He answers me the more I see more of you across the country coming to see me, ready to keep this going, ready to get to work, so proud, smart, and beautiful, just like her. That's how God answers me. He answered me by bringing me here, by bringing me Suleiman and Norm, by sending all of you, by giving us Reverse 90. We can do it. I'm telling you we can do it. I'm doing it every day. And I'm still fly. And now, I see that I'm not alone in my flyness, in my blackness, and my love for my people, and my pride and faith in our businesses. That's how I know that it's worth it. So for that, I say thank you. Thank you. I'm not just going to yell at you tonight. I say thank you. Because looking at all of you, I know. You didn't even have to say it. I know that it was worth it. My new friends, I want you to trust that all I have, all I've learned from growing up on the tough streets of Liberty City, Miami, from all the wisdom and strength I gained from MEMA, from all those elite and expensive master's and doctorate degrees, and all the love I have for my husband and my girls, all of that is yours. I give it all to this movement. I know it may not be enough, but it's yours. I'll never betray you. I'll fight for you, and I'll follow you. I will lead, and I will listen. I will talk when I should talk, and I'll walk when I must walk. And I know, Nicole, it's time for me to walk. I'll keep speaking to the cameras the same way I speak to you. I never change my message. I don't care who I'm talking to. I say the same thing. And I wake up stronger and more determined every day, and not just because I know we're right, and not just when the project is going well. I keep this up because I'm driven by the two strongest forces in the universe that I know. That's the love I have for my family and the knowledge, the certainty that the African American Chamber, that my brothers and sisters in this room, that all of urban Philly, that all of you have my back. Now I'm going to yell at you again, because you can't just have my back. Nothing's going to change unless we all get to work and use what Dr. King and the Empowerment Experiment in Urban Philly and the African American Chamber and Reverse 90 are giving us to change the world. I can't keep looking behind me to check to see if you're still there. I can't keep asking you, are you ready? We have to do this together. We have to start tonight. So let's get to work. Thank you, Suleiman, Nicole, Regina, my new sisters, and the rest of the African American Chamber for supporting the Empowerment Experiment, for letting me share our journey here tonight. Thank you for Reverse 90. Thank you for being everyday revolutionaries. Thank you for devoting all of your time and your talent to uplifting our community through self-help economics. And some very special thanks goes to the wonderful business owners who came together to make tonight special. I want to shout out David Burtz of JTE Spirits, my new cognac, your new cognac. David is a soldier in the alcoholic beverage industry, making sure our businesses and products are not locked out, and is on a campaign right now to get the first ever minority liquor contract from the Pennsylvania State Liquor Board. And in so doing, he'll be creating 100 jobs, 100 jobs in our community. I want to also show love for Harold Epps, owner of PRWT, for making tonight possible, and all of our sponsors, if I haven't already shouted you out. I thank all of you. Thanks to all the entrepreneurs and professionals here who keep on keeping on, even though the odds are against you. We know our future is dependent on your success. The Growing Empowerment Experiment Nation honors you and pledges to support you. So let's have a fantastic night. Support these businesses. Don't keep walking by these booths and saying you're going to come back. And I want you to come see me too. I want to meet all of you. I want to talk to you. And I had T-shirts that I wanted y'all to buy, but I've been messing with that video all night and I haven't unpacked them. But I don't want to go home with a bunch of T-shirts, so if we get it together, I hope that you'll stop by and see me and buy a shirt too. My husband would kill me if I didn't shout out the fact that we do have a book. I wrote a book based on our journey. It's called Our Black Year. And I want everyone here to get it, read it to your kids, push it into the schools. We want this to be the new classic about black economics. So please make sure you support that book too. Come see me tonight. But let me tell you something. If I do set up my table and you guys come and see me, and Norm knows how I close every speech I make, I don't want to see your mug if you do not have a receipt in your hand from supporting one of these businesses tonight. The only reason I'm here is because I supported black businesses. That's why you love me. So if you want my love, give me a reason to love you back. You support these businesses here. You make Reverse 90 work. It can work, and it can be duplicated all over the country. This is it. Let's make tonight memorable. Let's eat, let's drink, let's have fun, and let's shop. Thank you. I love you. I love you. I really do. Thank you.